Recording started. Yep, we're live.
We're live. Hello, Coach Donna. How are you doing?
I am doing well, Sonia. How are you? Cash flow
I'm
coach.
doing, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's good to catch up with you. There's been so much going on in our lives, and it's really good to be able to catch up and get our momentum going. But I mean, you've been really busy, and so have I. But it's
Yes, I
all good
have.
stuff.
Yes, I have. So here in Michigan, our temperature was 27, but felt like 17. They're promising us that we're going to get about 1 to 2 feet of snow. So you know that I'm like homesick for Mexico.
Hmm. Hmm. And I am preparing to come back that way. I'll be spending a month or so in Chicago with my grandson and my offspring.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
mhm. uh, I'm gonna stop in Charlotte to get some winter clothes, but I am not thrilled about. I am not
What is your temperature
thrilled.
there today?
And Charlotte is not. I think it's like in the somewhere in the 50s today, but apparently,
Okay.
but there have been a couple cold days.
Okay.
There's
And
been cold
in
days on the,
in Jalisco,
here.
what's the
You mean
temperature?
here in Chapala?
Yeah.
It's 70 something. Hang on,
Okay.
it's 70
Okay.
something.
All right.
It gets a little cool, but it's not like what I'm getting ready to go to.
Oh my goodness.
So one of the things I was telling you was that, part of what we have been talking about here in Mexico was just being able to shop and find medical providers that we like and are comfortable with.
Right.
And I've been since I've been here, kind of gathering names of dentists, and I have started to kind of make my rounds to kind of meet people to see who I want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I met a doctor who here in Chapala, really nice gentleman, kind of young. He's taking care of a lot of people here in the area.
Okay.
I did like the conversation I had with him. We had a nice talk. I hadn't made up my mind yet. I also wanted to find someone for gynecological care, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to inquire about having my hormones balanced. I don't know what that means or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
we've got access to good medical professionals down here.
Right. Right.
And I have a good friend who goes to Guadalajara to see a gynecologist, periodically, for her hormone balancing. Now I didn't know what that meant or what that entailed, so I decided to make an appointment with her just to gather some information.
Okay.
I feel good, but I'm sometimes a little tired. I know
Mm-hmm.
um my my blood levels are good and all,
Mm-hmm.
all that. But I'm thinking, maybe there's something I need to think about, since
Right.
I'm at a certain age now. Girl, I went to this doctor in Guadalajara, really nice woman. Um, her name is Dr. Gabriela.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, Very knowledgeable, very personable. And was just asking questions, and then she told me about this whole range of services that she offers, and I'm like, where have I been? I must have been living under a rock for the last 15 or 20 years, because one of the things, so just in terms of talking about, she explained she explained to me, number one, that there are a lot of new procedures that are used now, more technology. They're using, I think she said, bioidentical hormones um, that are not synthetic, that don't have the same kind of risk for cancer. But she was talking to me like, you're not using hormone replacement.
Right. Like,
I said,
where have you
no,
been?
right. Like, and she said, it can prevent Parkinson's disease and
Mm,
dementia, all sorts of things. And I thought, well, my mother had, died of Parkinson's disease, so tell me more.
right.
So what ended up, so my question about balancing my hormones ended up being a talk about hormone replacement therapy,
Okay.
which was, I hadn't really thought about that, but in the course of that discussion, girl, she told me that one of the services she offers is genital whitening. Genital whitening.
How do you go from
What?
hormone replacement to talking about genital whitening?
What?
And you, as a Black woman, why would you want a white genitalia?
I said, well, my response was genital whitening. I said, I'm Black. She she laughed and I laughed. She said, well, it's not really, doesn't really make it. I said, what are you talking? What? But apparently it's a thing down here in Mexico. Genital whitening. Let me tell you what her services are. Genital whitening, areolar whitening,
So that's the brown spot around the nipple.
on your breast, labiaplasty, liposuction of the mons, G-spot increase, lipotransfer, also treat stretch marks and scarring, incontinence,
Okay.
and treatment of HPV virus lesions. So she
Okay.
just kind of rolled all this out in terms of her services, and then she showed me some. I mean, they've got a laser thing going on that goes into the vagina that helps to tighten things up, and I'm like, what? My head was spinning when I left out of there.
Well, who would have thunk,
Who?
that those services would be a thing? And so it makes me want to know, do they offer the same thing here in the US? And what type of individuals would need that? I mean,
So the
labiaplasty. So that's like people get facelifts. This lady offers labia lifts so that it probably looks younger, opposed to deflated
well,
and gaping
and
and all of this other stuff that can happen.
reduce the size, make it all. She showed me pictures of before and after, and it's like all the after pictures, everything was all neatly tucked in, and just look. It reminded me of how little girls' intimate areas look, all
Okay, nice and neat.
nice and neat.
Okay.
But what I thought about was, and I don't know how popular these treatments are in the United States. Probably very popular among plastic surgeons, and I mean maybe, but the idea of the genital whitening. So I was fascinated by that. I said, what do you mean? So she showed me some pictures, and basically it was pictures of hyperpigmentation in the the folds of your skin where your legs meet your thighs.
Okay.
And
Okay.
some of the area on the outer lips, the mons area where there was darker pigmentation. The idea is to get it all nice and neat in one kind of thing. And I thought, wow, is this how many women are all nipped and tucked and everything?
And what
Down.
led them to that? I mean, was it a conversation that the husband, said, "Hey, baby, look, you need to get this tightened up down here," or
I
I mean,
don't know. I didn't even ask that because the whole idea was so foreign to me. And I thought, well, we're in a we're in a patriarchal community. A lot of how women, I see a lot of women here nipped and tucked and
Oh yeah,
tight.
beautiful. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I think it's part of the culture. But I was really fascinated by that. The other thing I was thinking about is, while I have not experienced any overt, I've actually received very positive affirmation for who I am. People
Mhm. Mhm.
admire my skin color and my hair, and there's a lot of appreciation for it, which I appreciate. It's
Mhm.
not fetish, it's not fetishized, but it's like genuine, that you look really beautiful, or whatever.
Right. Mhm.
But I also know that anti-blackness is a thing. It's a global thing. And
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
that might be one of the ways that it shows up here in the culture. I'm not sure, especially with the areola lightening.
Right.
Um, wow, it just never occurred to me that that would be something people would want.
Right. Especially with for modest people like myself, where those areas are usually covered. And so unless you're in an industry where, like a bikini model, I could see
Mhm.
maybe wanting to lighten certain areas if there are areas that photographers or individuals may view as unappealing. I would imagine that if there's been trauma to that area, yeah, even if it was trauma, just, childbirth, I mean, because that can wreck some stuff.
Mhm.
So to
Mhm.
have some things corrected down there. But wow, talk about medical tourism. I'm wondering how high that's on the list.
Well, she just sort of rolled it all out like, this is just what we do. This is what I do. And it was a very unassuming looking office, but obviously she's got access to all the high
Hmm.
tech everything. And she's young. She's much younger. She's older than I thought. She's I think maybe 45. But the
Okay.
interesting thing was, we talked for 2 hours.
What?
Yes, 2 hours, and that has been my experience with the medical professionals here. They take time, they answer questions, they tell you about themselves. Um, she was very, very professional. She said, because I had some questions about the hormone replacement, how that's done. She says she got up and said, "Well, let me show you mine." So you know, because you get a little injection in your bottom, in the fatty part of your bottom. So she showed me her little, where she gets her shot every 6 months. But I mean, she was just very personable in that way.
Okay.
She shared all of her medical training, where she studied, um, all the certifications that she has. She kind of showed me around her office. It was really a very pleasant experience. She was very, very open, and very pleasant to talk to.
Wow, amazing. That was my experience when I had to go and see a doctor when I was there. The personalism, the non-rushing you out. Look, you're
Mhm.
here for me to care for you, and I'm going to give you the best care that I can. I
Mhm.
really appreciated that when I had to go into ER because I was having some issues with my blood pressure. And then what I was really surprised about is when I got back to the United States, my doctor here switched me to the medication that they had prescribed for me to have in Mexico because I was told by an Indian doctor that it was a better medication. So why I'm asking myself, well, so why didn't they start me off on that when I was here in the U.S.? How come I had to go to another country to find
Mhm.
out about something that would be better for me?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I do appreciate their bedside manner. And the doctor called me on the phone to check on me. She
Yes,
called. She made
I
a personal
remember.
phone call from her personal number to
I
check on
remember you told me that. I remember that. The cost of that visit was, because so I know she met with me all of 2 hours, if not longer. The cost of that consultation was $45.
Wow.
And she gave me a slip if I choose to, what to go to the lab and what kind of tests to take. You can't really see it here,
Yeah.
but what kind of tests to take, and that would give me a baseline to decide whether I wanted to start any proactive um, hormonal therapies.
Okay.
So I'm going to, when I get to the U.S., I'm going to do some comparisons, see what's considered. Because I'm not sure I want to do that yet. But I am talking to some more women that have done it, and
I think it's interesting that she shared the information about the prophylactic aspect of it, from preventing certain disease processes.
Yeah, that's what kind of piqued my interest. And my friend that does it, you know, I just she's very, very health conscious.
And she looks great.
Yes, and she looks great. So I'm open to some new things, and I do know that my overall health and well-being is really, really important to me. I have longevity in my genes, but I do want to. I want to take care, because even though I have longevity in my genes, my parents had some conditions that, thank God, I don't have, and I just want to keep it that way. I want to, continue to honor, that longevity.
Yeah. Wow. Labiaplastia, G-spot augmentation. That was one that you mentioned to me earlier.
G-spot augmentation. That's a thing. That is a thing. Lipotransfer, yeah, treatment for stretch marks and scarring.
I can understand that one, especially after childbirth, or someone who is large and now is small and wants to get rid of the stretch marks. I can understand that. I can understand that. I wonder how she finds the G spot to do the what does she do when she enhances the G spot? I mean, what does she do?
Apparently there is an insertion of collagen to make the G spot the size much bigger, much bigger. And the other thing, the incontinence treatment, I can see how that might be an issue for women too who have been damaged after childbirth. That's more common than I think people realize. But it's like there's a whole other universe out here, and
it sounds like there's a whole new universe down there.
Yeah. Yes, people getting their stuff tight, girl. Tight and right and all that. So.
What you say, tight and bright?
Tight and bright.
Yeah.
So she spoke in she pretty much spoke all in Spanish. So it was important for me to keep my ears up. I certainly can comprehend a lot more than I speak. But she did try to speak some English, and I spoke some Spanish, and actually, with the two of us working together, I think the interview went pretty well.
Wow, that's good.
But I really liked her. I really liked her. So, we'll see. I'm shopping for medical professionals, and I did like her.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing that bit of information. I think I'll do some research as well. I'm not trying to get no G-spot in augmentation. So, but
no,
definitely some of the
and I
other
think
things.
I'm fine with. Well, I'm fine with my lady parts being as they are. I don't need to have them brightened.
Right.
I'm okay.
Yeah, but
all
for
right.
those
Well,
who
I just wanted to touch. Yeah, for those who need, no, to each his own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been on here about 19, 20 minutes or so. I hope people will go ahead and like and listen and subscribe. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Also, tell us your YouTube channel, Coach Donna J. I've got it going on the bottom, but go ahead and
Absolutely,
let us
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. I am Coach Donna J, and my YouTube channel is Savvy Soldier. I talk about anything Mexico, the importance of having a side hustle prior to retiring so that you have multiple streams of income to help support whatever kind of lifestyle you want, wherever you want, whenever you want to go there. And then the importance of just travel as a part of your mental health wellness. I think travel is very important. So let's find some soft landings for people and get them out there and enjoy life.
Which is our work together. There's so much overlap in what we're doing. My channel is for women, especially Black women, 55 and older, who want to improve their finances so that they can level up to a better life that includes freedom, rest, travel, and ease. So I'm glad that we're working together. We'll talk again soon. I guess we'll talk on your channel next week, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll let you know what that subject matter is going to be. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the medical aspect and the implants that I'm having done, why I'm having it done here in the US instead of in Mexico.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. See you,
Adios.
Sonia.
Thanks. All right, Donna.